Hi, welcome to my channel and welcome to my 20th anniversary celebration of wearing dreadlocks. Yes, I've been wearing dreadlocks for about 20 years now. As a matter of fact, I began wearing dreadlocks in 2002. That's 20 years. So I wanted to hop on YouTube, and in honor of my 20th year as a natty dread wearer, as a locknista, I wanted to get on YouTube and offer some sage advice and give tips on how to, maintain your locks and to support those who are starting their journey on this wonderful path of dreadlock wearing. And I wanted to also be maybe the sounding board of wisdom for many who are of you who are deciding to take on the lifestyle of wearing dreadlocks. When I started wearing dreadlocks, it was the year 2002, and there was no YouTube tutorials. There were no locticians. There were no Facebook groups. None of that existed. I had to do my own research. And here's a little background story about my love and my journey in the world of dreadlocks. The first time I ever saw someone wearing dreadlocks, that person would be Bob Marley, and it happened to be when I was a little girl in the 1970s. I was very intrigued with his hair, and I wanted my hair to look like that, because when you were a young, black girl growing up, especially in the 70s, your life consisted of basically, getting your hair done. And that consisted of what? The hot comb. And I had so many issues with my hair. My hair was long, and my mom would style it up really cute with barrettes and those little hair balls and ribbons, and I would lose my ribbons in gym class, and my mom would get on my butt about that. It was a hassle. So when you see someone with dreadlocks and you understand as a child that this is a process where you don't touch your hair, and when I say you don't touch your hair, what I mean is you don't necessarily, put a comb to it. Especially a hot comb. I was like, I'm there for it, and so I was really impressed. And later on, as a teenager, well, in my late teens, I met a friend, and her aunt was, it had the most beautiful locks I had ever seen, and I loved them. And I had asked her name was Ahada, and I asked her, I was like, oh, I would love to wear, dreadlocks. I want dreadlocks. I want my hair to look like yours. And, she was like, hey, it took years for me to get this. And, it's a spiritual journey. And then my friend told me, well, you shouldn't wear dreadlocks if you're not a Muslim. And I was like, okay. I'm guessing that I won't be wearing dreadlocks. But as I got older and became more mature, and I started really doing my research about dreadlocks and the history of dreadlocks, I decided that it was something that I wanted to do. And so I had to prepare myself for the journey. And trust me, wearing dreadlocks is definitely a journey. And I see a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about, here's how you should start your dreadlocks. Oh, first of all, here's a good one that, is discussed in a lot of Facebook groups. Oh, I don't call my dreadlocks because, the base word of it, the root word of dreadlocks is dreads, and my locks aren't dreadful. Oh, that discussion gets on my last nerve. Here's the thing. Whatever you want to call it is fine. But what your hair does is dread. That's what your hair does. Your hair dreads. Your hair locks upon itself. And that's what dreadlocks are. And I had to do a lot of research. And after I had done my research, and I was just tired of, I was just tired of relaxing my hair. I was tired of spending hours and hours at the salon. I was tired of spending thousands of dollars on hair care products. I was really tired of all of that, and I wanted a break. And that's what I did. I went ahead and began the process of locking my hair. And I have to say, after 20 years, I have made mistakes, but I have been overall successful on this journey. And I want to share that with you, because let's be honest, most of the things that you see on the internet, and most of the advice that you receive on the internet about dreadlocks is basically false. To be honest with you, I only followed one person on the internet and on YouTube when it comes to, locks. I only follow one person, and her name is Yanni, the one and only lockologist. I follow Yanni because basically what she says and what she advises on her channel and on her website is how I have, carved a path for myself these 20 years. And I want to share that information with you. And I hate to sound harsh and mean about it, but basically I want to say, 75% of the YouTube tutorials that you see about dreadlocks, sister locks, locking itself, basically that advice is garbage. And I have to tell you that it's not going to help you. If anything, it's going to harm your locks. And trust me, I've been in places where I have made mistakes with my hair, and I have experienced the consequences of those mistakes. And I want to help you. I want to help you and advise you on the where and how this journey should begin and what it should look like for you, and to keep you from, hopefully my advice will help you to not make the same mistakes that I made. And everyone's journey is different, and you might not agree with some of the things that I advise or that I say, in this, on this channel about dreadlocks. But that's up to you. Everyone has to find their way, but you should have all the information, the most accurate information available to you. And that is the point. So welcome to my 20th anniversary celebration of being a Locknista. And I am so happy to be here to help you along your journey. Now, there are 3 things that you need to know before you get started on this journey. Now, I'm sure you have seen the videos of people who say, here are the 5 things I wish I knew about dreadlocks before I started. Here are the 5 things, or the 3 things, or the 4 things I wish I had known before I started. Before I, started to wear dreadlocks. And, what can I tell you? If you are, beginning this journey, let me help you out a little bit. And, let me help you understand something. Here are the 3 things that you need to know before you start your journey. Okay? Number 3. You have to have patience. Dreadlocks is about patience. We live in a society where everything is now. Everything is, let's do this today. I want my food now. I want my fashion now. Everything is fast. Dreadlocks is not about that. Dreadlocks is about patience. It's about getting to know your hair. It's about getting to know your hair type, your hair pattern. It's about getting to know who you are as a person. It's about time too, because you may see someone's journey and see their hair, and you may say, well, why doesn't my hair look like hers? Or why doesn't my hair look like his? Or why aren't my locks as thick as hers? Or why are my locks not fat like his? You know, it's about patience, and with patience comes time. So you have to understand that everything takes time, especially your dreads. The whole process takes time. So you have to have patience. If you do not have patience, you will learn patience, or the art of being patient, as you go, or as you continue on your journey. And don't get discouraged. Do not get discouraged, because it's a rewarding process, a spiritual process, a process where you will really truly get to know who you are as an individual. But it all begins with patience. You have to be patient. The number 2 thing that you should know about dreadlocks before you get started is that you have to be courageous. Having dreadlocks, or wearing dreadlocks, is not for those who are scary. If you are afraid or feel fearful of what people may say, then this lifestyle is not for you. And yes, I said lifestyle. Dreadlocks is not a hairstyle. Dreadlocks is a lifestyle. And if you are afraid of people looking at you funny, of people asking you questions, if you are not ready for people to look at you funny, then dreadlocks this is not the time for you. This is not the time for you to wear dreadlocks if you are afraid. You have to be courageous within yourself. You have to be courageous and steadfast in your convictions to wear dreadlocks. This is not this is not something for the faint of heart, because trust me, there are going to be people who are going to come up to you. They're going to ask you, do your dreadlocks smell? They're going to ask you, do you wash your hair? They're going to ask you, are you a Rastafarian now? They're going to ask you so many questions that are just rude and mean. And you know, hey, guess what? Some of those questions are going to come from your family. Your family are going to have those questions. They're going to ask you, do you wash your hair? Have you stopped washing your hair? Does your hair smell? They're going to ask you all of those questions. And they're going to be, you know, probably well-intentioned questions as well. You know, they probably will not mean any harm. They're just asking. Your family and friends are just asking questions, but you have to be prepared for it. If you are a person, I'm an artist, I'm a writer, you know, I'm a jewelry designer, jewelry and textile designer. So, you know, I'm an artist. So of course, locks does not interfere with my, you know, in my state of employment, because I'm basically entrepreneurial. However, if you are working in the corporate world, you're going to have to ask yourself a set of questions as well. You know, how is my employer, what are their thoughts? How will my hairstyle, my lifestyle, okay, how will my lifestyle affect my employment? You're going to have to ask yourself that question too, because yes, there are a few states where the Crown Act is now law, which is wonderful. And the Crown Act is a law that prohibits places of employment to discriminate against people of color and their, you know, and the different ways that they wear the head on their crown, the hair on their crown. So, you have to ask yourself those questions too, and you have to be courageous. You know, if you work in the corporate world and you wear dreadlocks, you have to be courageous and steadfast and strong in your convictions. If you are not courageous and you're not strong enough for this lifestyle, then maybe dreadlocks are not for you. You have to consider that. I think I talked about time, but the number one thing that you should know about dreadlocks before starting is the fact that it's a commitment. And I'm sure that you probably noticed that I said previously that dreadlocks, it's not a hairstyle, it's a lifestyle. So you need to be ready to make the commitment to being a dreadlock Nista or a dreadlock gentleman. You have to be ready to make that commitment. And I would not say that, well, let me just put it to you like this. If you have an issue with making commitments and keeping commitments, then perhaps this is not the style for you. This is not the lifestyle for you. If you have, you know, if you're not good at keeping a commitment, because dreadlocks, let's be honest, it's a commitment. It's a commitment to doing certain things every single day to keep your hair healthy. It's a commitment to a train of thought. It's a commitment to spirituality. It's a commitment that you make to yourself. And that commitment is that you're going to be patient, is that you're going to be courageous, and that you are going to respect and honor the hair that grows from your scalp. It's a commitment. Wearing dreadlocks is not something that you can, you know, you can say, well, this week I'm going to wear dreadlocks and then next week I'm going to get a relaxer. No, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that. Dreadlocks is a lifestyle, and I know a lot of people are going to, you know, want to disagree, and that's fine. Go ahead and disagree, but you know, it's not a hairstyle. I'm just gonna put it to you like that. And I have been in Facebook groups where people have, you know, went ahead, decided to wear dreadlocks and are on their dreadlock journey, and then the next thing I know, they're saying that, you know, they've braided up their dreadlocks and put a weave in. I mean, huh? What? Wait a minute. You decided to braid your hair, cornrow your dreadlocks, and put a weave in? Yes, I have actually seen that. I have seen people who have also decided to cornrow their locks, and yeah, it can be done depending on how small your locks are. I have seen people cornrow their locks and put a wig on, and you know, I've said I have looked and I have asked in a very, very respectful way, why would you do that? And the answers are, well, I wanted something different. I wanted a change of pace. I got tired of my dreadlocks. I got tired of what I saw in the mirror. So I just wanted a change. Here's the deal. Dreadlocks are not a hairstyle. Dreadlocks is a commitment to wearing this and the many ways that you can make it look beautiful. It's a commitment to it. You know, no, don't cornrow your locks and put and get a weave. No. Don't cornrow your dreadlocks and put a wig on top of it. Don't put your dreadlocks into a ponytail and put a cap over it and then put a wig on. Oh my God. Why would you do that? No. Dreadlocks are a commitment to a way of life. And for me, this is a way of life. Dreadlocks is for me, it's a way of life in that it's a spiritual thing. It's a spiritual journey that we're on. So before you get started wearing dreadlocks, do some research. Find out about the culture and the heritage of what makes dreadlocks so special, so divine, you know, so uniquely us as Black people. And I know there are other cultures that, you know, dread their hair as well. But, you know, I'm not speaking on behalf of them. I'm speaking on behalf of, you know, myself, who, you know, is African American. So I just want to say that those are the 3 things that you need to know before you start wearing dreadlocks or start on your dreadlock journey. And listen, what are those 3 things again? You need to have patience, be courageous, and know that dreadlock wearing or the dreadlock lifestyle is a commitment. It's a commitment. Welcome to my channel and happy 20-year anniversary celebration to me. And if you have any questions about dreadlocks and dreadlock maintenance, styling, product, all of those things, listen, what you can do is in the comments section, go ahead and ask your questions and I will do my best to answer them. And then just stay tuned for new videos every week, and I will, you know, I will try to cover everything that I know or that I have come to learn about wearing dreadlocks. All right then, have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.